Gregory and Ivy Baxter appeared to be the perfect father-daughter duo, wealthy, admired, and inseparable on social media. But when Ivy vanished during a luxury island vacation, and Gregory filed a multi-million-dollar insurance claim just days later, investigators began to uncover a horrifying truth. Behind the facade of paradise was a carefully planned murder. The Baxter family's vacation began like a carefully curated dream. Bahamian authorities called it a tragic accident and closed the case within 48 hours. Gregory and Elaine flew home with grim expressions and offered a statement expressing sorrow and gratitude to the search teams. But back in New York, Gregory's actions raised questions. He removed all photos of Ivy from his company website, sold her belongings, and filed a life insurance claim for her death within a week. One maintenance worker remembered seeing Gregory walking across the beach late that night, captured muffled audio, the faint voice of a child pleading. Ivy's disappearance was no longer just a tragic accident. The narrative Gregory had provided began to unravel, replaced by a chilling question: had he staged his own daughter's death to cover up something far darker? Followed by a loud, disturbing noise, and then silence. Although distorted by wind, experts confirmed the voice sounded like a young girl, carrying what appeared to be a heavy bundle wrapped in a large towel. At the time, he thought little of it. Now, it seemed like a key moment in a growing web of lies. Gregory was privately making swift financial decisions that raised serious red flags. Ivy's death had triggered a multi-million-dollar life insurance policy, one that had been quietly updated just 4 months prior. The changes included a rare double indemnity clause, increasing the payout if Ivy died outside the United States. Most disturbingly, Gregory had begun the claim process only 3 days after returning from the Bahamas. What appeared to be a family tragedy began to look more like the first move in a chilling cover-up, and investors were pulling out. Behind the scenes, he had funneled large sums of money into offshore accounts in Malta and the Cayman Islands. It appeared he was preparing to secure his wealth and possibly disappear. Gregory Baxter, a well-known real estate tycoon worth over $80 million. No public appearances, no messages, and no confirmation of her location. Gregory claimed she was in Switzerland at a wellness retreat, but when investigators reached out to the facility, there was no record of her ever arriving. Her passport hadn't been scanned at any border, and airline logs showed no international flights booked in her name. Gregory resumed his work without delay, appearing in business meetings and interviews as if nothing had changed. His public persona was polished and calm, but those close to the family noticed troubling signs. Elaine had vanished from social events, her once active social media accounts completely silent. Gregory said she was coping with grief in private, but some suspected otherwise. Gregory was courteous. A park ranger doing a routine cleanup on the southern end of the island had discovered a damaged drone lodged between sharp rocks. It was covered in salt and sand, but its memory card was still intact. Forensic analysts recovered partial footage showing Ivy sitting alone on a remote stretch of beach. Moments later, Gregory appeared behind her. He seemed agitated. The video ended abruptly, but the timestamp placed it just hours before Ivy was reported missing. Elaine appeared serene, and Ivy was often seen sitting quietly with a tablet in her lap or playing alone by the pool. They reviewed the resort's internal GPS system and discovered that a private golf cart assigned to the Baxter Villa had moved off the designated property route at 3:43 a.m. on the night of Ivy's disappearance. The cart was tracked to a cliffside location known for its dangerous tides. It returned to the villa just over an hour later, but by the third day, subtle cracks began to show. Ivy seemed distant, rarely speaking, often avoiding eye contact. She didn't play in the water or laugh like most children. A housekeeper noticed a dark mark on Ivy's arm while changing the linens in her room but dismissed it, assuming the girl had bumped into something. Had arranged a luxurious escape for his wife Elaine and their 10-year-old daughter Ivy. The destination was the exclusive Azure Palms Resort, a private island in the Bahamas known for its pristine beaches and high-end clientele. With a private beachfront villa, personal chef, and security detail, the setting was the epitome of wealth and control. Gregory, who often showcased his family's lavish lifestyle online, made sure every moment was documented, at least the ones that looked perfect. Staff at the resort initially saw nothing unusual. On the fourth evening, a storm rolled in, and the family stayed inside their villa. According to Gregory, Ivy grew restless and asked to walk along the beach. He claimed he allowed her to go alone and became concerned when she didn't return. By morning, Panic set in. Resort security was alerted, and a full-scale search was launched. Guests were asked to remain in their villas while drones scanned the island. IV's sandals were discovered near the edge of a steep cliff on the island's far side, leading authorities to believe she may have slipped and fallen into the ocean during the storm. No one witnessed the fall, and no body was recovered. Suspicion grew quickly once the Baxters returned to New York. Authorities hadn't expected to revisit the case, but a phone call from the Bahamas changed everything. With this new information, U.S. authorities reopened the investigation quietly. Investigators brought in resort employees for fresh interviews. Even more troubling, a young server had recorded ambient sounds near the villa while cleaning up after dinner. Her phone, left running on a windowsill. None of the evidence was definitive on its own, but the pieces were forming a pattern. The deeper investigators looked into Gregory Baxter's life, the more contradictions they uncovered. While publicly portraying himself as a grieving father, a financial audit revealed that Gregory's once flourishing real estate empire was in rapid decline. Several properties were in foreclosure, lawsuits were pending. The mystery of Elaine's silence also took on new weight. No public appearances, no messages, and no confirmation of her location. Gregory claimed she was in Switzerland at a wellness retreat, but when investigators reached out to the facility, there was no record of her ever arriving. Her passport hadn't been scanned at any border, and airline logs showed no international flights booked in her name. Pressure was building. Detectives questioned Gregory again, pretending it was just an update on Ivy's missing person case. He stayed calm, but something felt off. A scuba diver working with local police found a sealed waterproof bag hidden in rocks below the cliff where Ivy's sandals had been found. Gregory had said she was at a retreat. One video, taken using a hidden camera and sunglasses, showed Gregory dragging a large object across the beach late at night. But when Ivy went missing, she knew she might be in danger too. The case against him was now much stronger. The man once praised for his wealth and family life had been exposed as a killer. Investigators also found encrypted messages Gregory had sent to people in Eastern Europe he was planning to run. Every detail was followed closely: his rise as a successful businessman, the tragic trip, the shocking arrest. The courtroom was packed with reporters, legal experts, and shocked former friends. She spoke about Gregory's paranoia and how obsessed he was with looking perfect in public. She said she feared he might hurt her too. They claimed the video was fake, the journal wasn't real, and the evidence didn't prove anything. But there was just too much proof. Ivy's death reminded the world that money and appearances can cover up dark and dangerous truths. The jury didn't take long. After only 2 days, they found Gregory guilty of murder, fraud, and lying to authorities. She had quietly gathered proof while trying to protect her daughter. He had even bought a fake passport and was ready to flee the country. Others think she stayed in the U.S. and now works to help children in danger. A foundation was started in Ivy's name to support at-risk kids and families. That same day, she gave all her evidence to the FBI and agreed to testify. A small hand and Ivy's hair were visible. The video's timestamp matched the resort's GPS data and a staff member's earlier report. They showed the insurance papers, the drone footage of Gregory following Ivy on the beach, and the bag with her bloody belongings. Elaine's journal was read aloud, and experts confirmed it was real. But the most powerful proof was the video of Gregory dragging Ivy's body through the sand at night. Elaine also gave the FBI her journal, where she described Gregory's strange, angry behavior and how he talked about his business failing and not letting everything fall apart. But no one could find her. Then came a surprise. Elaine hadn't disappeared. She had gone to the FBI and entered protective custody. She told them everything and gave them powerful evidence. Inside were Ivy's pink tablet, her favorite stuffed animal, and a blood-stained t-shirt. Later, DNA tests confirmed the blood was Ivy's. He didn't show the worry or sadness you'd expect from a grieving father. He avoided details, brushed off questions, and became defensive when they asked about the life insurance policy. Meanwhile, the FBI teamed up with police in the Bahamas to dig deeper into the case. That teamwork led to a major discovery. This evidence changed everything. It suggested Ivy didn't just fall by accident. Something violent had happened before she ever got near the cliff. With growing signs of financial motives and suspicious behavior, Gregory went from a grieving father to the main suspect in what was now a murder case. Investigators then focused on Elaine Baxter, hoping she could explain more. Elaine had secretly recorded Gregory during the vacation. Elaine hadn't just been scared, she had been trying to protect Ivy. She planned to leave Gregory after the trip. Experts confirmed Ivy's blood was on the shirt, and fibers on it matched the towel Gregory was seen carrying. But before he could escape, the FBI arrested him at a fancy charity event in New York. Cameras flashed as he was led away in handcuffs. Gregory's trial became national news. Prosecutors presented strong evidence. Elaine took the stand, hidden behind glass for her safety. Gregory's lawyers tried to fight back. He was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of getting out. He showed no emotion when the sentence was announced. The courtroom fell silent. After the trial, Elaine vanished from the public eye. Some say she moved to another country and changed her name. The Baxter case became a chilling warning. Behind luxury and smiles, terrible secrets can be hidden. Ivy's death reminded the world that money and appearances can cover up dark and dangerous truths.